Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Got something exciting to share with you today? She's always felt unattractive. I'm a 27-year-old woman, and I've always felt unattractive. Most people would probably think that I look okay or even good looking. I have nice long hair, tan skin, curvy body, height, whatever, but I just don't see it. And this is something that I've always struggled with since I was little. I grew up in a very small rural town, and we didn't really have much of an LGBT community when I was growing up. You know, there was actually just one other family I knew with kids who were gay. It's kind of wild, right? There were no role models for me to look up to. I mean, I knew I was different from a young age. I knew I liked girls. I knew I wasn't straight, but I had absolutely no idea what being gay even meant. I never saw any representation of it anywhere. When I was around 8 years old, I remember I liked one of my classmates. I don't remember if I had a crush on her before, or if it was at that moment that I realized that I liked girls. All I know is that I told my mom that I liked her. She said, "Don't be stupid." Then she sat me down and explained to me the birds and the bees about how it was normal to like boys. I understood what she meant, but I still liked my classmate. I was confused. This continued all throughout middle school and high school. I was confused and feeling really lonely. I would go on these rants to my friends about how I felt so ugly because I couldn't understand what was happening to me. Like I could see that most of my classmates liked this guy or that girl, and they would go out on dates and stuff. But I didn't feel that way. I never did. And then I found out about the term lesbian online. It was such a relief. I thought maybe if I identified as straight, then I wouldn't feel these feelings anymore. So I dated guys and I tried to convince myself that I was straight and that I liked them. It didn't work. I was miserable. I hated every second of it. I lied to my parents that I was in a relationship. They had no idea that I was lying. They were happy for me and supportive. After I graduated, I moved away from my hometown to another state. I was finally free from the judgmental eyes of my hometown. I came out to my parents and they accepted me. I'm so grateful for that. I made some great friends and I started college. I joined the college's LGBT club, and that's where I met some amazing people who became my best friends. I actually had friends now. I didn't feel so alone. In the LGBT club, I met someone who identified as non-binary. I thought that's it. That's who I am. Non-binary. Unfortunately, after some time, I realized that I didn't identify as non-binary. I was still a woman, but I still felt super ugly. None of my friends ever said anything about how I looked. Didn't really talk about our bodies. I was still insecure. I was talking to one of my friends about how I felt, and they asked me why I didn't love myself. They said that I had so many great qualities about me, and that I shouldn't let my appearance define me. They were right. They knew they were right, but I still felt ugly. I decided to come out to my cousin, who I hadn't spoken to in a while. I was hoping that she could be a good role model for me, since she's also gay. Unfortunately, she didn't help at all. She said that she used to feel the same way when she was younger, but then she learned to love herself. I told her that I want to love myself, but I can't. It's not that easy. She said, "Well, if you want to love yourself, then get plastic surgery. You're so ugly, it's no wonder you hate yourself." I was devastated. I couldn't believe that she would say that to me. I loved my cousin, and I wanted her to be my role model, but instead she broke me down. I couldn't believe that she thought that getting plastic surgery would make me feel better about myself. I told her that I didn't want to listen to her anymore, and I hung up. After that, I became depressed, and I spent most of my days crying and laying in bed. My grades dropped significantly, and I ended up failing one of my classes. I talked to my friends about it, and they were worried about me. They suggested that I should talk to a therapist about it. I didn't want to do that at first, but they convinced me. My therapist helped me a lot. She taught me that everyone has insecurities, and that it doesn't matter if you're transgender, non-binary, pansexual, whatever. You will always have insecurities. She told me that I should learn to accept myself. The problem was, I didn't know how to do that. She suggested that I try to focus on my personality and my actions, rather than my appearance. She told me to try to see myself as a friend would see me. I tried, and I was surprised. I was pretty cool. I was funny. I was smart. I was nice. I had so many great qualities. I realized that I needed to focus on those things instead of my looks. I also started going to the gym and eating healthier. I got in shape. I started liking myself a bit more. I was still far from accepting myself. I still had a long way to go. A few months later, I found out that my cousin posted photos of me on social media, And she tagged me and she wrote, "Look at my ugly little cousin. She needs plastic surgery." I was furious. How could she do this to me? I already struggled with my self-esteem, and now she was posting this online for everyone to see. I unfollowed her and blocked her on everything. I talked to my therapist about it, and she suggested that I should tell my parents. Wasn't sure if I wanted to do that or not. I didn't want them to worry about me. But then, I decided to tell them anyway. They were angry and disappointed in my cousin. They apologized to me and told me that they would talk to her. I appreciated that, but I knew that they weren't going to do anything about it. One day I found out that my cousin deleted all her posts and she unfollowed me. I hope that means that she learned her lesson. I also hope that I can eventually accept myself. It's been a journey, and it will take time. I went back to my therapist, and I told her about my cousin deleting her posts, and how I hoped that she learned her lesson. My therapist said that I should focus on myself and not on my cousin. She said that it's not my job to teach my cousin what's right and wrong. It's her job to learn and accept what's right and wrong. My cousin isn't responsible for my happiness. I am. I'm trying to focus more on myself. I'm trying to become a stronger person. I'm trying to accept myself for who I am. I'm trying to realize that I'm beautiful inside and out. So yeah, that's the story. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It really means a lot to me. Can't wait to catch up again soon. Take care and see you next time. Bye.